So today we're going to talk about an interesting topic. If you visit a homeopath, is there anything you can do in advance to prepare for that? And of course, the answer is yes. So a lot of homeopaths do send you a questionnaire you have to fill out to prepare for the interview. And I think this is a good thing because it makes you think about um, what kind of information to give a homeopath to make a successful prescription. So that's what we're looking at today. The what kinds of information should you give the homeopath, and like before going to the homeopath, what questions should you be thinking about? What are the aspects of yourself that you have to actually analyze? So I kind of send this out to my patients sometimes. This is like a questionnaire, but this was written by Kent, of course, in the 19th century, which is and of course Kent is the second father of homeopathy. So this is like really cool. You'll get to know the thought process of like the main creator of homeopathy, and also you can prepare for a successful consultation with your homeopath. Yeah, you can download this in the channel description. So let's get into this. What the doctor needs to know in order to make a successful prescription, James Tyler Kent. There's a lot of things, right? So you don't have to go through everything, but let's just look at some of the things that are here. Mental symptoms, okay? The symptoms of the mind and disposition are most important and should be carefully considered and reported. So you have to analyze your own mind, and then you have to kind of convey this analysis to your homeopath properly, right? And you have to be accurate, and you have to be objective, right? Even if you have to analyze yourself deeply, okay? Even if you have delusions, unless you're schizophrenic, even if you have delusions, you can objectively look at those and say that those are probably delusions, right? And so everybody can analyze themselves if you actually make the effort, okay? So, yeah, I mean, mind symptoms are very important. They are kind of the most important, but other symptoms are important, just almost as important. Give this section your particular thought. How is your memory? For what is it poor? At what time is it poor? So memory, okay? Think about your memory. Can you comprehend easily? Do you answer questions of others promptly or slowly? That's good. And then we have anxiety. A lot of people have anxiety. Make sure if you have anxiety to tell your homeopath, and give it some thought. What triggers it? What are you ruminating about? Is it the future? Is it bashfulness? Is it a desire for company? These are actually more like fears. Desire for death, fear of death, confusion of mind, laziness, loquacity, inclined to do much talking. Now we're getting into some other kinds of mental symptoms. Are you? Did you have any love disappointments? Are you depressed? Are you you feel like quarreling? Are you in a silent mood? Do you have persistent thoughts? That's like we would say in modern English, we would say OCD, right? Or something like that. Crowding of ideas, aversion, or ADHD, or ADD, whatever it is called. How does the future look to you? That's also, again, anxieties. Are you anxious about the future? Are you anxious about the future? Do you imagine or see things that have no existence? that your family has turned against you, that a man is under the bed or in the house, that someone is following or hounding you. Okay. So delusions, right? Even if you have delusions, you can take a look at those objectively and report them to your homeopath. Okay, so very good. Sensations are very important, and this should be especially noticed. Um, any kind of weird sensations you have, you must report those to your homeopath. It may be like a mouse or bug crawling, so that's a skin sensation. Like wind blowing into the ears or eyes, that's an eye sensation. These are just examples. As if someone is pulling a hair, as if a blow on the back, as if the heart was grasped by an iron hand, as if claws were grasping the bowel, as if a splinter in the throat. So, do you feel like you have a sore throat, like a splinter? So, sensations as if those are very important. Headache, like as though you had a cap on or a hat. These are merely illustrations, but you get the idea. Any sensation, better or worse, no matter what the trouble is, you have to tell your homeopath what makes something better or what makes something worse. Any symptom, right? Anything you have, include this information or give it a thought, give it a think before the appointment with your homeopath. This could be anything like heat, cold, body position. Is there any position which you may assume that causes the trouble or any single symptom to be better or worse? It may be reading, writing. That sounds weird, right? But it could be writing or reading. It could be anything. Okay, anything. Just the human body is capable of manifesting the weirdest symptoms. Okay, people don't know this, but almost any person, if they analyze themselves, they will find peculiarities which their body uh, has manifested. So those are what we're looking for. Well, not just those, but these are very important. Pain, of course, describe your pain. Where is it? What it feels like? What is it worse or better from? Discharges of all kinds. Describe them. Head, your hair. Is the hair very dry? Da, 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 da. You can just look through all these questions and then I don't need to read out everything here. I think these just are self-explanatory. Is your hair oily or greasy? Blah blah blah. Ears, the same thing. Eyes. How much does your do your eyes water? Are your eyes weak? Do you have any special feeling about the eyes? Blah blah blah. Do you catch colds easily? Mouth and tongue? Do you salivate a lot? Okay, so also, yeah, apart from you might think sensations are not very medical sciencey. Uh, at the other end of the spectrum, we are looking for very medical type of symptoms as well, right? So discharges, salivation. We were looking for a bad taste in the mouth. That's also can signal physiological changes. Coating on the tongue, blah blah blah. It's very, as you can see, it's very detailed. So you know, it might take a long time to get through this questionnaire, but it's worth it. Okay, so if you want to increase your chances of successfully being healed by homeopathy, then it's worth it to spend all the time on this. Okay, eating, drinking. Now, eating and drinking are very, very important. It's just as important as your mental symptoms. Do you have any craving for any special article of food? Very, very important. Okay, and when you're thinking about this, we're looking for, of course, cravings, like extreme cravings, not just something you like or don't like. extreme cravings or extreme aversions, okay? Grotesquely exaggerated cravings or aversions, like you can't even touch sweets, like you have a then you have a strong aversion to sweets, okay? Are you hungry much of the time or any special time? Do you have hunger with aversion to eating? Do you eat with hunger? Yeah, so these are questions about your hunger, but the questions about your cravings are much more important. Those are the most important, and then you can think about your hunger. You can, yeah. Do you does food satisfy you? Do you eat hastily? Are you very thirsty? Yeah, you have to gauge your thirst. Is it increased, decreased? What do you crave? Cold water, hot water? How much? Do you use much milk? Does milk agree? Nausea, vomiting, eructations. Yeah. Do you have any of those? Okay, we're getting into local symptoms again, so these are not that important. Urine and urination. Yeah, you can have a lot of those kinds of symptoms. Constipation, diarrhea, all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, these are all self-explanatory. Okay. Um, I don't think I need to explain much more of this. And of course, you don't actually have to go through everything here. Okay, so if you just go through the diet part and the mind and some of the general things, all these local medical symptoms, you don't have to go through everything, right? Among these, if you have any symptoms in that sphere, right? Then you can go into that chapter and answer the detailed questions, right? If you don't have any joint problems, don't go through the joint section. If you do, though, get into the joint section and then and use these questions, all these questions, to analyze your joint problems. And then remember that, take that information to the homeopath. But if you don't have joint problems, don't read this section. As I said, the only sections everyone needs to think about is the diet and the mind, mostly. So muscle, bones, back. If you don't have back problems, don't look at this part. Wounds and injuries. Okay, bleeding. Right, you don't have bleeding. You don't need to look at this. Skin diseases, fever, chill, and sweat, sleep and dreams. Sleep and dreams. I would recommend uh, that everyone go through this, right? Sleep and dreams. Also, kind of universally applicable to every patient. Okay. And then for women only, if you're a woman, yes, and you have problems with menstrual problems or anything else, you can look at this section. And then for men, the same thing. If you have any problems in the male regions, then you might look at it. So that's it, right? If you spend the time to just skim through this, you're gonna make your homeopath very happy because he's gonna have an easier time making the prescriptions for you. And of course, you can go to any homeopath. Um, you can go to any homeopath with this information, but you can also request a consultation from me. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you guys later.